Let's see. Caller, thank you for waiting. You're on K-Talk.
Thank you for having me.
Well, you're on.
Was listening to the Prepper Talk and wanted to chime in. I'm also following that circle and also live in California. So.
Oh, my goodness. Okay. 2 in a row from California.
Must be your lucky day.
It must be. I just feel so sorry for you guys that live there, but you like it, don't you?
You don't know. I'm working on getting out of here.
Ah, okay. Well, there's...
Jim, you all have to be from somewhere.
Well, that's true.
I'm from California. I mean, come on.
Well...
Don't look at me like that. Why are you moving your chair away from me?
I was actually born in Illinois, just as bad or worse, so yeah.
That's worse.
But we left. We got good sense.
I left, too. I go back there often just to basically... stick my tongue out at him and say, look, I can be here or I can be there. Anyway, caller, go ahead. I'm sorry. Jim has told me that Jim is hovering with his finger over the my mic button so I can be quiet.
Yeah, it seems the prepper community here in California, and especially Southern California, is growing quite rapidly. Everybody seems to have concerns over different issues as far as what they're preparing for. A lot of people are still, abiding by the guidelines to prepare for the big one, the earthquake that may be coming someday. But it seems
have they nailed that date down at all on the earthquake anymore?
They really haven't. I wish they would, so I could plan accordingly.
All right. So we've got earthquake, and what else?
People are preparing for some sort of EMP or solar flare where we'd have a total loss of the electrical grid.
Okay.
There's those preparing for the zombies coming.
Zombies.
Zombies.
You know what? It's not that. Well, anyway, I don't want to be labeled as a crazy, but zombie by any other name or an extremely infectious person, Jim. We could have that.
Yes.
And by lack of a better term, a zombie would basically fit
I've seen
that.
a few zombies around, so yes.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead, though. So I like the term, the zombies. Okay, go ahead.
Economic collapse is high on a lot of people's minds as well, but it appears more and more people are becoming more well-rounded in their preparedness. You've got your gun guy that thinks he's a prepper but has no food or medical supplies, and it really takes a well-rounded individual to have food, medical supplies, the training, the knowledge to go with the tools in the toolbox, firearms to defend yourself and what you've accomplished as far as putting things back. So
it's only firearms, even though that's the show, is firearms, but it's only one component of a good preparatory situation, preparation. Yeah. Okay. So you've got food, you've got medical, you've got to get your basic needs supplied, right?
Definitely, your basic needs, hygiene. That's huge. A lot of people don't put back toilet paper and shampoo, but there might come a day where there's none in the store. Getting back to firearms really quick, though. So many people will buy a firearm and they'll go to their local indoor range and they'll shoot at a static paper target, and they think they're accomplishing something. And if you're not out practicing firing whatever firearm you chose to obtain, under stress, muscle fatigue, breathing hard, defensive positions, alternate firing positions, it's a real waste, and I think they're doing themselves a huge disservice.
The caller is very... I hate to call you the caller. Caller, tell me your first name. Tell us.
Brian.
It's Brian. Brian brings up a great point because, we're in a nice air-conditioned, well-ventilated indoor shooting range, and no one is pushing you. You're not starving for food.
Now,
it's well-lighted.
I'm irritated with both of you because this exactly describes the way I practice.
I know that, Jim. Well, Jim, you're shooting a .22, so, okay, so anyway. I mean, come on.
This is humiliating.
And so... But Brian, you're absolutely right in that. But people like that because then they can hit the center of the target a lot easier. And then if they get off a little bit, they're distracted. Oh my gosh, I've got to bring that back in. So they take a lot more time on their next shot, and they breathe in and they breathe half of it out, and they slowly squeeze the trigger. Boom, and then and then they put the gun down, they take a break, and they have a candy bar, and then they'll pick the gun back up and try some more. But you're right, real world.
Yeah, it really isn't, and I think they're really doing themselves and their family a huge disservice by not maximizing their training.
So what do you do? Do you go out to the desert and right when somebody's about ready to press the trigger, you start pushing them and yelling in their ear? That would work.
Calisthenics is a really good stressor. It starves the muscles of oxygen, and then trying to keep a muzzle steady, after a few push-ups, jumping jacks, and maybe a little sprint really helps out. And obviously, the noise, the confusion, anything to replicate the fog of war.
You're right. And, and this is, to some extent, you're trying to recreate situations that might occur. If you get pushed into one of those situations and you've never had that experience, the brain has nothing to go to say, when this happened last time, what did I do? What worked? What didn't work? If you don't have that to fall back on, you can't. That's why visualization. Now, you're taking visualization, to an extremely next step. But if you visualize certain situations, that can at least help and implant a little bit of a segment of a bad situation in your brain that it can go back to. But so you're doing calisthenics, then picking up the firearm, then, trying to hit your target.
Trying to manipulate the release on a Serpa holster after you've done a few push-ups is a little tricky.
For those out there that don't know, explain what a Serpa holster is.
It's a holster. I believe it's Blackhawk. There's a little button on the side of the holster that you have to depress before you can apply upward pressure to remove the firearm from the holster.
So it's a retention-type holster designed you can do jumping jacks and it's not going to pop out. But if you don't know where to push that button with gloves on or whatever, it's not coming out. It's stuck in there.
Correct. Something that simple. What's really interesting, I guess, along this topic? My girlfriend, I got her into shooting. We've attended, some training courses together, and I spent a considerable amount of time with her on the range. But we go through scenarios every once in a while, and she probably hates drill days, as I call them. There's, middle of the night, there's banging on the door. It sounds like someone's trying to hard push in. What are you going to do? Number one, close the door, grab your cell phone, call 911, get your firearm, take a position behind your bed where you have clear access to the door, and you're there in a defensive stance. California does not have a castle doctrine.
Ooh,
so we can't be aggressive even in our own homes. So you hope they don't get the hard push in. You hope the PD shows up. You hope the PD doesn't shoot you, as they often do here in California. But, these are things that I mentally put her through, and we physically practice these. So she knows I can roll off my bed right, shotgun's where it's supposed to be. It's out. I'm on the phone with 911. If need be, I can rack around, and hopefully that noise will deter the individual. But, it's dry fire practice in your home. People really underestimate the benefit of dry fire as well. So
think about date nights with this guy must be really. I mean, what are we? It's Friday night. What are we doing? It's drill night.
We're reconstituting beans and playing with fake bullets.
Yeah. This is fantastic. This is great. And how long has she been your girlfriend, Brian?
Oh, going on 4 years now.
Oh, okay. Well,
sounds like she likes you.
Yeah. It must be working.
Yeah. It must be. But, I really appreciate your guys' topic today, and I wanted to call in and chime in.
And you're actually calling from California?
I am. I am in Orange County, California.
Orange County. That's, that's where the housewives of Orange County, or whatever they call that.
Well, Disneyland.
Disneyland.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Disneyland a little better than that show.
Yeah. Hey, thanks for calling. And like the other caller from California, put this number in your phone, and remember, every Tuesday, actually it would be from 6 to 8. No, it would be from 7 to 9 your time, 8 to 10, every Tuesday night, Utah's Gun Talk, and we'd love to hear back from you.
That'll be great. Hopefully we can get some good banter in.
Yes.
All right. Hey, thank you.
Thank you.